everybody!
Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
These are a lot of faces.
These are beautiful faces.
They are.
Ah,
Y'all clean up nice.
real nice.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
love it.
We are so excited for you all to be here. We're going to try this little quiet procedure that we do in our schools. You know, I think it kind of works anywhere you go. But when you hear us say, waterfall, you guys go, shh. Let's try it one more
Ooh,
time.
let's try it one more time. Ready? Waterfall. Ooh, y'all are great students. I love
amazing.
that.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Dee.
Yes.
I cannot even believe that we are in our 9th year
Yes.
for Elevate celebrating on Cloud 9. Woo! Best is yet to come. Woo! Oh my gosh. Dee, we try to do so many things to like bring that little touch of Cloud 9. Did
Yes.
you know that the 9th anniversary like represents pottery?
I didn't. Now I know.
Well, everybody has a little dessert on their table, and it's supposed to be like representation of pottery. Yes, it is chocolate, so you can eat it. But
It's a good kind of pottery.
Right. Everything is all about being on Cloud 9.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Dee, there's a lot of new people. Matter of fact,
There
by a
is.
show of hands, if you've never been to an Elevate Phoenix invitational before, can you please put your hands in the air? Oh
Ooh,
my goodness.
look at all those new hands.
that. Yes. Yes. Okay, Dee. Oh, wait.
Yes.
We got to tell them. A lot of them don't know who we are, what we do, or why we do it.
Okay.
Let's break that down.
We're going to break it down. All right. So Elevate Phoenix is a nonprofit. We are in the schools and we are out of schools. So half of our program happens in the school, half of it is out of the school. So at our high school level, we partner with PXU, Phoenix Union High School District, and then we also partner with 5. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, that's good. We also partner with 5 feeder elementary schools. So at the high school level, our kids can take classes that they get high school credit for. They can take our class all 4 years, and it builds on each other. And it teaches character qualities, life skills, and leadership development. Wow. They, in turn, go down to our elementary schools, and they teach those kids at their level. So we ride with kids from kinder through junior high. And I don't know about y'all, but junior high is like it's no gray. It's black or white.
Own special
Either
group.
you love that age group or you're like, nah, keep me away from those kids. I love them. Junior high through high school, post-graduation, we have a post-secondary program that we do with our kids, and we see them beyond that. So we have alumni that sticks with us. So we legitimately, what we like to say is we do life with our kids. So we get to do it in school where they get to see us every day, and they get to see and just build trust in that relationship. And then outside of school, we get to do life with them. So in my past life, I used to teach, and I loved it. Education is one of those equalizers, right? But I saw on the other side that my hands were a little tied. They only let you do so much as a teacher, right? So with Elevate, when Elevate came along, like you could teach, but then you can do the other part of life. So all the hard things that you see maybe happening at home or in the neighborhood. And I was like, yes, that's what we need. Sign me up. So if you have been around any of our Elevate family, any of our Elevate staff, they have that same heart. They have the heart after kids, wanting to do life with them, and wanting to see them succeed in whatever space that they want to succeed in. And for us, it's about holding that hope until they can hold it for themselves.
So good, Dee. You know, when we were coming up with the whole theme of being on Cloud 9, when you think about being on Cloud 9, you see the clouds like just stretching beyond the horizons. And it's primarily because it's that view, that thought process that, you know what? We are not done yet. We are just getting started.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do with Elevate Phoenix. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you had somebody believe in you before you believed in yourself? Was it a teacher? Was it a mentor? Maybe even a boss?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we do with Elevate Phoenix. We believe in our kids until they can believe in themselves. We show up for our kids. We actually try to coin that phrase, becoming our hope holder, which is what we call every single one of you, our hope holders. Why? Because we hold the hope for our kids until they can hold the hope for themselves. And guess what, Dee? they always hold the hope
They
and they
do.
pass it along.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all of our alumni, our leadership committee, our alumni cabinet.
Yes.
They are doing exactly what we've hoped for.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about all the different things that we do. And I tell you, you guys got a brochure earlier. You also will learn more today from some of the stories. But let me just share a quick story about one of my alumni, Ricardo. Ricardo, when I tell you, he was one of my students who was a part of the group homes in high school. And skipping class, oh yeah, that was just what he did. And when you say, oh, have hope, yeah, no, he would tell you that was for somebody else. But when he met his mentors, Mr. J, myself, we had the honor of being Ricardo's first teacher mentors. And it wasn't until that moment that he would tell you, if he was here himself, that somebody really took the time to show up, rain or shine, poured into him, inspired him, reminded him that he is valuable, that we want him to see the eyes we see him through. So today, even after he got out of the system, Ricardo, not only did he graduate, he went on to college. He is working in the trades, actually for the Taiwanese Semiconductor Company now. And he started his own family and continues to give back as our alumni. This is what we are investing in. This is what we do. We show up. And every single one of our kids are going to be either proactive about it or reactive about it. But one way or another, we invest in these kids. So we invite every single one of you into the story. Now, tonight, it's not just about raising money.
But it is that too.
We are trying to do that as well, right? But it's about making the biggest impact. And every single person in here has a story to be a part of. You're going to learn about all of those stories. And you, tonight, have a way that you're going to not only say, I was a part of that story, but you're going to be that person to say, I believe in you, young person, the way I had somebody believe in me. And this is what paves the way. So the question is not if you can make a difference. It's going to be about how you're going to make a difference and be a part of the story, our kid's story. D, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun, Jess.
Let's go. Brad, where you at, Brad?
Mr. Perry. Oh, right in front. Hey, Brad.
Yeah, I'm right here. Quit yelling at you.
Is this my mic? I'm taking this one. Am I using this one? Good evening, everyone. First of all, are we tired yet? Because these two tired me out just watching them right now. Am I right? They got the energy
I get my
going
energy
here.
from Jazz.
Give it up for D and Miss J right here. Give it up for them. I am Brad Perry from the CW7. A lot of you might know me from Good Morning Arizona, but I'm on the CW7, the Arizona Daily Mix, Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. But I'm very excited to be here. This is my third year now. I just got 3 years in. Wow. Do I get something to watch? Anything? You know, actually, I will say 2 years in, I got Tom Lehman's clubs. So yeah, so I'm playing with Tom Lehman's clubs for anybody who's playing with me. Just no one cares. Okay. I thought it was pretty cool. No, but I'm very excited to be here. And the reason why is find out what they do for the youth. Working in the news, I would get stories in the morning of teenagers out on the street, teenagers being arrested, teenagers dying because they had no one there for them. And then when I found out about what Elevate was doing for these kids, it was amazing. So I was hooked. But what really hooked me was hearing their stories of where they were, where they're going, and where they've been now and what's happening. Tonight we'll hear some of those stories. Tonight you're all here to, of course, make sure they continue on the mentoring ship, continue on taking the kids to places, giving them the dreams that they never even think they would be able to do by just having a mentor. Each one of these kids, was one word away from maybe landing in jail, one word away from maybe being trafficked. And having a mentor, as we all know, changes people's lives. And that's why I'm hooked. I'm here because it's awesome when you have a mentor. I was lucky enough to have one, and I still have one. And so that's what we're here tonight, to make sure they have the mentors, but it takes a lot to do it. So we're gonna have some fun. We have a good time. And with that said, I'd like to bring up my co-host, or how can I say this? Are we co-host buddies? What do you want to call us tonight? All those, Ebony and Ivory, where do we want to go with this one, buddy? Come on up here, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Lehman. And Tom, I have to do some really quick housekeeping because right now there is a drawing for 2 tickets to next year's event and tickets to the wonderful Ann Myers Drysdale's event that she's happening. And where's Ann? There she is right there. Ann, how are you? So there she is. So make sure you get those tickets for that drawing, and her event in the spring is so amazing and incredible. Also, too, can I do this? You don't understand, like, I am a little kid right now. I am like totally, I couldn't believe you did this for me. And I said, will you surprise me this year with somebody, something, because I was tired of, Tom Chambers, okay? Everybody knows Tom. Everybody's had a drink with Tom. And over the years, we've had Tom.
You know what?
So,
He got me hooked. This working?
is this on?
He got me hooked up with Y-Refi, so I love Tom.
Oh,
Chambers.
well, tonight we have 2 people in the audience that I just want to top. We have a lot of people here. One is Mr. Chili Davis, who just popped in for special. Where's Chili? Where is he at? Chili Davis. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, MLB player, Chili Davis. Amazing golfer. Doesn't cheat. Amazing. But the other person here, and I'm going to go ahead and put him on the spot, but he played a big part in my youth of where I thought I literally, watching this young man play, I was going to be able to do the Super Bowl shuffle. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim McMahon is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. And I will tell you, if you ever hear stories about Jim playing, it is true. He does not wear shoes playing golf. He barefoot, and it's amazing. He hits the ball better than Tom. It's incredible, barefoot. But anyways, Tom, it's always fun having you to be here and stuff. Listen, another year. How great's this?
Yeah, is this work? It's working.
Okay.
Well, first of all, thank you. And before I start, I want to thank you. As you are a somewhat iconic guy in this town. People love you. Mike Tyson loves you. I know that. You told me all about that.
Mike Tyson does. He thinks
Okay.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Brad, come here. Let me tell you a story. I told Tom Mike Tyson story,
Yeah,
so if you want to hear that.
So Mike Tyson, he loved him one day, hated him the next, but we'll don't talk about that. But anyway,
that's right.
but thank you. Thank you for doing this. You bring so much to what we do. You do. The notoriety we get through you and your show and just your personality and your way you handle people. This is like a blessing and a half for Elevate for you to be a part of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. So, and then
With that said,
you're the MC, so I'm following your lead.
you're following my lead. Well,
Yeah.
at this time, we do want to recognize your guest that we're going to
Yeah.
be hearing about later on this evening. We're going to be talking to him, but I don't know how you did it. I don't know who'd you call or what blackmail you have on them. But who's our guest tonight?
Yeah, well, let's just suffice it to say that when you're a 14 or 15-year-old kid growing up in Minnesota and you love golf, you look around and you find a hero, okay? And of course, we are all heroes of Arnold. He was quite a bit older, and Jack, of course, but there was a young guy who was way closer to my age, 10 years older to be exact. So when I was 14, he was 24. He was on the tour, winning tournaments, competing in major championships, and so he was all of our hero. So Tom Watson, where is he? Right here.
Yes.
He's here with his wife Dorothy. But we just clap for So we all wanted to be Tom Watson. Who didn't? His style of play, his integrity, the way he went about his business, his obvious talent. We wanted to be like Tom Watson. So for me to be able to call Tom and say, and consider him a friend, which means a lot to me, can you come and be a part of our event and be the guest of honor this year? And he immediately said yes. It's a big deal. So Tom, thank you for being here. Yeah.
And you're going to want to stick around, definitely, and listen to the stories. We're going to have the two of them on stage just bantering back and forth. But I will tell you right now, someone owes someone $1,000. I don't want to drop any names, Mr. Watson.
That's true.
So I don't want to say anything. You should have saw that putt.
All I'll say is this, as Tom has seen me putt over the years, he thought it was a no-brainer. but I did sneak it by him, so we're in his pocket for $1,000 already.
Also, on the table, as we're sitting here, there's a special jug there that I can't believe that you bring this out every year to let people literally drink out of it.
That jug has been traveling.
Yeah.
It went to Philadelphia over Thanksgiving a couple years ago. I think it went to California for Christmas last year. It's here tonight, but I only have one of those.
Yeah.
The guy sitting there has 5 of those. So.
And he didn't bring one of them. Huh?
Yeah.
No, could have brought one to help out.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that could have saved you $1,000. But with that said, I know it's at our table tonight, and I believe we'll be auctioning it to go to another table, I think. Is that right? Is that what we're doing?
What?
No.
For somebody that has it for their holiday.
Oh,
That's
someone
it.
for the oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So, oh wow, so you get to actually will bid on this, and you can actually get it for your holiday party and drink out of it. Does it matter Thanksgiving or which one are we doing?
Or both.
Or both?
Or both.
Oh, both.
But one quick story about that.
Yeah.
Okay, you see how it's not the biggest trophy, but it's a beautiful trophy. So I took it to Isabella's for my son-in-law's 30th birthday a couple years ago, and we're drinking Modelo out of the claret jug. And that one right there. And the bartender was about a 25-year-old woman, and she didn't know what the heck this trophy was, but she wanted to get her picture taken with it. And then I think she tried to figure it out on her own. So after we had the picture taken with that, as she's walking away, she picked up the phone, she called somebody, and she said, "You can't believe it. I just got my picture taken with the Stanley Cup." Which has to be, 5 times bigger than that, 10 times bigger than that, whatever.
And a lot of different names.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, well, Tom, at this time, we want to, of course, bring someone up on stage who is very important to Elevate, to talk a little bit and to
Yeah, we do.
let them know how we are going to spend this evening and what this evening's all about.
Correct. So for starters, you've already met Jasmine, all right? You've met Delilah, okay? And there's others. One of them is going to be coming up. But we wouldn't have this event without them. They do all this work. Everything that you see, everything that happens tonight is because of them, okay? And I want you to understand that, we're up here. We get to kind of follow through and execute what's been planned, but they're the ones who have done all the work. And the guy who's coming up is right there with them, a guy named Tony Montgomery. We all know Tony. Elevate it's just exploded over the last 2 or 3 years, and I think it's mostly because of Tony's leadership. So Tony Montgomery,
Tony coming
come up.
And as Tony comes up, you can see on the board there are ways that you can contribute, of course, tonight through the silent auction that is still going on. It closes at 7 o'clock. Also, the live auction, paddle raged, and a lot of other ways there when we do our auction. Amazing prizes through our raffle. Also, we have a roundup for your holiday purchase, so you could do some different things like that. It's kind of neat where when you're shopping, you can automatically with your credit card have it go like for extra change at the checkout, go to Elevate, and that's the website on there how you can do that. And then of course stocks, if you want to give, that's another way too. And then the Champion of Change is definitely something that we need. And I'm going to let Tom take it over, and I'm going to step off this way. I'm going to let Tony. No, I'm sorry, Tony. You go. Tom, I'm going to come this way and hand you the mic.
Is it me?
It's all you.
Okay. Well, thank you. I echo everything that everybody said. The energy that Dee and Jazz have is very infectious to everybody. I'm sure everybody feels that. I kind of want to start off by I'm going off script, so don't get angry with me. If we go back, 2010 is when Elevate Phoenix started. And it was the brainchild of Tom Lehman and Bob Barbie. Is Bob Barbie here? Okay, well, Phyllis and Bob Barbie. There you are. How are you? And in 2010, there was 28 students. 28 students in 2010. We started this event 9 years ago. And if we go back 9 years, so 2017, there was 1,500 students in the program. And we were in 2 high schools in their respective feeder schools. Fast forward to today, 2025, we're over 6,000 kids that we take care of. We're in 5 high schools, getting ready to go into a 6th, and all of their feeder grade schools. It's just an incredible organization, and my job up here right now is to thank everybody. We did a little thank out there a little earlier, but it's such an incredible organization. Over the past 10 years, Elevate Phoenix kids have graduated at over a 98% rate. Now think about that. Now, prior to Elevate Phoenix coming in, these kids dropped out of school historically at a 52% rate. So the stuff that's being done here is life-changing. And so I want to start by thanking first the incredible staff at Elevate Phoenix. And I'd like you all to stand up and stay standing. Staff, stand up. I'd like all the alumni to stand up. The alumni. I'd like Mike Tope, who's chairman of our executive board, stand up, and all the executive board members. All of the development board members, everybody that's on the development board. Stay standing. We're gonna get to something here pretty quick. I want all of our 2 title sponsors are Ray Barton of Great Clips and Dr. Brian Golly and Heather St. Peter, Golly Plastic Surgery. Brian, stand up. I'd like to thank K2 Adventures and Cascade Escapes, Michael and Tracy Tope, the Woutenberg family, the Markley family, please stand up. The Enzinger family, Freeway Ford, Phyllis, Barbie. Go ahead and stretch your legs out a little, Phyllis. Sean Boski, Bootsy Bank, the Donleys, the Rossies, FlexJet, the Niedermans, Morgan Stanley, which is me, Don and Kim Gray, please stand up. We've had an incredible support from our very first corporate sponsor, the Carlisle Company. So Kevin and all those in Carlisle, please stand up. Thank you very much. Tom and I, we really couldn't do this without the support of our families. So Melissa, thank you for Tom, stand up. Lehman family, Kathy, thank you very much. And again, we've got some really cool people here. We've got Jim McMahon here. We got Tom Watson here. We got Chili Davis back there. I can't see, but we have tremendous support of our celebrities. We got Hall of Famer Andy Myers Drysdale here. So, and we've got a lot of new people here. So the reason why this is successful is because of this group of people. Everybody that comes out and supports, because we can't do this. We can't let the kids down. We've been through recessions. We've been through shutting down the country. And we can't be in a position where we go to these kids and say, sorry, we're a little tight this year. We'll try and get to you next year. Tremendous, tremendous situation of responsibility that we have. We're going to keep this thing going, and it's because of people like you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Tony, you're so right. It truly takes an entire village. It takes an entire village. So we are so beyond grateful for our village and all of you being a part of it. So we actually ask, why does this thing work? And Dr. Getson is one of those people who just understands our not just our city, but literally the way things work. And he's been a part of Elevate Phoenix. I will say I had the honor when Dr. G was actually the principal at Camelback High School when I first got started back almost, oh my goodness, like 14 years ago. And he saw us in action. And so he went from being a principal then on down to the superintendent, and now is making big change with NAU.
All that to say that Dr. G has been one of those people that have kind of traveled with us along the way. He's been one of those people that has championed Elevate from the beginning. He was the one who, some principals can kind of be standoffish or, oh, I'll let those people handle it. He would come over to our room and say, hey, is there anything that we can do? Is there anything I can do to help you guys? And so it's people like that, like him, like you guys here that help support Elevate to do what we do. We can't do this alone.
Cannot. So Dr. G, please come and grace us with why this works. Woo.
And as he's coming up here, I'm going to do one little quick announcement that we forgot to tell y'all. So
They don't know about it,
they
Ms. B.
don't.
Oh my gosh. You guys didn't hear about the big news, huh? Something big happened this year.
Yes.
This year.
We started a new pipeline this year.
What? Our fifth
Yes.
pipeline. We went to
Trevor
another
Brown.
school.
Yes.
B, they said that you guys helped us raise money because we said we wanted to grow last year, right?
Yes.
Well, we made good on that promise.
Yes.
We did it.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, good evening. If we have not met, I'm Chad Gueston. It's an honor to be here. And as Dee and Jazz said, I'm very blessed to have been a part of almost the entire origin story and the journey here at Elevate. I had a chance to experience Elevate as a principal. I then spent 8 years as superintendent of the Phoenix Union High School District. So I got to see it up close and from afar. Now, as a lifetime supporter, will always be supportive of the work of Elevate. And as you'll hear and see more and more tonight, every single child is really just one caring adult away from an incredible future. And you're going to see and feel that. I was asked to share 2 really quick reflections tonight on why Elevate works. 1, I want to talk about the theme for tonight. And then 2, I want to dig a little bit deeper. Number 1, the theme tonight, it's not just Cloud 9, but it says the best is yet to come. And the reality is this, I agree the best is yet to come, but I would put a word after that. The best is yet to come when? The best is yet to come when we invest in our children. The best is yet to come when we honor and respect the adults and educators and teacher mentors in the lives of our students. And I would also say that the best is yet to come when we actually believe in every single child, in the potential of every child and the value of every child. I know tonight you're going to hear about students that maybe were at risk or maybe made mistakes or maybe they were behind. The truth is every single one of the children that Elevate serves has beautiful potential and a beautiful future just waiting for an adult and a community to invest in them. And so part of it at just the simplest level is that Elevate Phoenix puts loving, caring adults in the lives of students that just need to be invested in. And then the second reason why I think Elevate works, and at the risk of being a little cliche, I'm going to quote some words from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from a speech that maybe most of you have not heard about before. On August 16th, in 1967, Dr. King gave a speech that's now known as, "Where do we go from here?" And in his speech, he talks about 2 things that are of the utmost importance: love and power. And as he talks about these things, he talks about the challenge of love and power happening in the same sentence. And let me take my glasses off while I read this. And these are excerpts from Dr. King's speech that night. He says, "We so often have problems with this word called power, but there's nothing wrong with power if power is used correctly." He goes on to say, one of the greatest problems of history is that this idea of love and power are usually contrasted with each other as opposites, as if you can't have love and power at the same time. He goes on to say that love is often identified with the absence of power and power with the absence of love. And he goes on then to say that we have to get this right for our children, for our future, for our country. He says power without love is reckless. Love without power is anemic. But then he says, but power at its best is love. And I say that because I believe that the magic of Elevate is that they give to their students both love and power. that every single day, Elevate Phoenix, the teacher mentors in the organization, they wake up and they give love to their students 24/7, 365. They are always on call. They believe in the worth and the value of every single one of their students. They give grace when students make mistakes, when they're tardy, when they don't do their assignment, they show forgiveness. But they're also there to show love when they succeed, when they walk across the stage. You heard 98% of Elevate students walk across the stage. By the way, in Arizona in general, less than 80% of students walk across a stage in Arizona, and 98% of Elevate students walk across the stage. Part of that, a huge part of that is that these students know unquestionably and undeniably that they are loved in their best days and in their worst days. And then second, I believe strongly that the other thing that makes Elevate so powerful is that they give power to their students. Power for them to write their own story. Power for them to maybe forget about the past and not let the past define their future. Power to look in the mirror and see someone different. You heard Dee and Jazz earlier say, sometimes Elevate believes in students before they believe in themselves. And part of that is empowering these students to see themselves in a radically different way. And they give power to their students to go to school, to graduate, and eventually, which is incredible, they give power to their students to give back. These are students that aren't just coming to school to get mentored, they mentor. And they go out into their community and make an impact on students in their community. And so it's not just about giving them love, it's about giving them power to make a difference in their own lives, and the lives of their families, and the lives of their communities. And so I think at its core, Elevate is an organization that doesn't fear the intersection of love and power. It lives there. And so on behalf of every single child that has been impacted, every child that will be impacted, every educator inside of the school system, thank you so much for your support of Elevate, and thank you for your commitment to Elevate, to the educators, and to the children that we serve. God bless everyone. Thank you.
This does not happen without every single one of you. Like he said, we're in schools, but we're out of schools. We make sure we're showing up, whether it's during the lunch hour, before school, after school, holidays, weekends, summers. But then we push on and we say, hey, you know what? High school wasn't where we end. They actually get their first college experience with me as their college professor. Watch out. Thank you.
Right?
Yes. And here's the most amazing part. Every single one of our students with 100%, they go on to continue on to college. Not all of our kids are college bound, and that's okay, because what about the trades or certificates? And if not that, military. And if not that, workforce. 100% of our students leave with a post-secondary plan and come right back, and we hire them into our program because they are all of our alumni, and they give back to the same communities they just came out of. So thank you again. This is what we do.
Absolutely.
So Tom, we're at a really amazing time that we do every year, this Hope Holder. What is a Hope Holder Award?
Well, first of all, I think Chad said it exactly 100% spot on. You can't say it any better than what he just said, so I'm not going to reiterate. But what the Hope Holder is people who have supported our program because they believe that. They understand that, and they want to make a difference in those kids' lives. And so we made an award called the Hope Holder Award, just to give to somebody who has understood the need, has the compassion to care, who wants to create an atmosphere of love and empower kids to become successful. And so the award, the Hope Holder Award, goes to somebody each year, or some buddies who have done that. So we have, every year we give it away, and tonight's the night we do it.
So just to kind of tell, so we've been doing this since 2017, and I'm going to read off who the past Hope Holders were. Shasta Pools, who's donated all of the Elevate Phoenix offices. the Carlisle companies for their big commitment that they've done from a corporate standpoint. I'm very honored that I was a 2019 recipient. Bob and Phyllis Barbie, Al Molina, and Western New Mexico University. 2022 was Ray Barton of Great Clips. 2023 was Dr. Heather St. Peter and Dr. Brian Golly. Last year was Sam and Tally Friedman. And this year's winner is just another. People get invited to come to this event, and there's no strings attached. Either they feel it or they don't feel it. And this couple has been coming for several years, and this epitomizes what I think the Hope Holder is. On the way out, after being very, very generous in an auction, I told this couple, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting. And the immediate comment back was, Tony, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to come to this, because they see what this organization is doing. This year's winners, Don and Kim Gray. Come on up here. Thank you. Tony, thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Oh, we're so grateful for you. So we're going to take a little picture.
Yes.
We're doing singing. Kim would like to.
No, I don't want to say Oh, they have something to say. Come on, Don. You got something. I love you.
It's been a while. Yeah, I'm too old to be surprised like this. So, but anyhow, this is it's such a wonderful charity. It's such a wonderful cause, and it's nice to be able to give your money to people that are working on something so good. And you got people like Tony and Tom and Jasmine. Everybody at this organization. So it's just makes us feel very, very thankful that we can help out and to give to the next generation too. Yeah, it's a great feeling for us. So yeah, we don't deserve any awards or anything like that.
Yes, you do.
We're just happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we also give out another award, and we just started this one. I know we're talking about the Hope Holder Award and giving it to somebody who has been such a big supporter and a friend of the program, and just seemed like it wasn't right to recognize someone within the staff of Elevate, who they all deserve this award. Okay, but just something significant, and how can we honor those who have given so much and have felt that calling in their life, and they listen to it and they commit to it and they run with it and they make such a huge impact. So we started this Champions of Change Award to honor one of our staff, one of our people who have been involved with Elevate, and there's somebody who's been here from the very beginning who gets the award this year.
So this person has put their heart and soul into our space without recognition. She stays behind the scenes. She cracks the whip and keep us financially where we're supposed to be, within budget, all of that. And she has done this just as a calling to elevate in what we do. She can get paid nicely in other spaces, but she chooses to give her time and her effort in Elevate space. So without further ado, Miss Karen Boyce, you are our champion of change this year.
Oh, come on up, Karen. Come on up. This was hard to keep from you, Miss Karen.
It was.
Keep it together.
Surprise.
Picture time, picture time. Would you like to say a couple words?
I remember sitting in a room with 4 people about what Elevate Phoenix could do for our city. As a kid that went to Maryville High School, and knowing the community and the love and the support that can be granted. Wow, sorry, this was not expected. But I want to say that for me, it's always the bottom line. And I love to count the dollars. But what I love more is the students that are impacted at the bottom. And I know that every dollar that's counted is for a life. And I know it's for a student, and I know it's for a future. And I am so thankful for this tonight. Thank you. How it has grown, muchly due to our board and their passion. But man, when you sit back and you hear the student stories of where they have been and where they're going, when you have students who graduate from the program who come back and who become teachers for the program because they know the impact it made in their life. They're now college graduates. They're now successful. They're now starting stewardship or scholarship foundations for our students. And that's huge. That's where we know that makes a difference. Bob, Barbie, you guys starting this, I remember sitting in the room with you. And I remember the impact that it had for everyone in this community. And if you think it doesn't make a difference, we all need doctors as we grow. We all need engineers. We all need lawyers. We all need the things that these students are gathering. And we either provide the hope or they don't have it. I'm very humbled. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
And with that, great way for us to go into dinner for a little while. So I know those who had their backs to the stage had to turn and miss dinner a little bit. We're going to enjoy dinner for a while, and then we're back up to continue the program. So enjoy.
If you like your meal tonight, let's get 2 claps. Wait. They didn't hear me.
Let's try a waterfall. Let's try that.
Oh, waterfall probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Ready?
Ready, set. Waterfall.
Ooh,
Hey, y'all are
remember.
excellent students. I would have loved y'all in class.
I love it.
Love it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so D, we're gonna keep this party going.
Let's
I'm
do it.
hoping that everybody's enjoying their meals. They're appreciating the stories. They're seeing all the impact that is being done, but nothing will come close to the impact. We can talk about it all day long.
All day.
But
And then
it's
some.
And then some. But it changes the game when you hear directly from one of our students who this is impacting.
Yes.
So, without further ado, Miss Amanda, Mr. Malachi, Mr. Brad.
Come on up. Yeah.
Come on up.
Yeah, so I was Amanda Malachi.
Excuse me, you caught
So-
me mid-bite.
That's
All
great.
right. Everybody's enjoying the meal, we were saying. So also, too, I didn't realize, before I get to these celebrities here, there's another celebrity in the house, but Mr. Josh Donaldson's in the house. Give up Mr. Josh Donaldson, playing tomorrow with us. So they're all popping up everywhere, man. There it is. Caught them in between meals. Amanda, this is a very important young man next to you. And when you hear his story, and we're going to talk about it, you're going to see even how important his future is and how amazing that's going to be. But Amanda, tell us a little about this young man right here.
Can you hear me? All right. Hello, everybody. So my name is Miss Amanda. I still go by Miss Amanda. My last name is Covarrubias. Okay, I can barely say it. So students say Miss Amanda. I told my husband, you are lucky, you are fine. I'll take that long last name. But, hey, Linda. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about this young man standing here. So when we ask for students to be put into our class, so first we tell counselors, hey, we really want the bottom half of students, right? The students that need a little extra support. But give us a sprinkle of the top half, a sprinkle of the kids that maybe want to make a difference, right? Kids that want to go to university or kids that know it all, right? So this young man, which his parents are here, they did an amazing job with him. He was our sprinkle. He was our sprinkle, as was Miss Sid. I see you over there, Miss Sydney from North High School. So Malachi came to our class. He took our class all 4 years, right? So 4 years of, does anybody else want to share? Like, okay, Malachi, we get it, right? But he still needed some direction. And so my promise to Malachi when he actually got to my class, so I wasn't his first teacher mentor. He didn't get to me until about 2 or 3 years into his high school career. When he did, I was like, okay, Malachi, I'll promise you a couple of things. One, I will not always tell you what you want to hear, but I will tell you what you need to hear, right? I will be that adult to always speak truth. And two, I'm not above being wrong, right? If what I say doesn't line up with what I live, or let's say that I misspeak in class, I give you permission to respectfully call me out, right? Respectfully. So what I would teach our students so that they can survive in all their other classes. You can respectfully disagree with your teacher if you maybe talk to them after class, if you set up an appointment, if you articulate your case. So Malachi, I taught class. After class, he said, okay, miss, like, can I have a word? Sure, what's up? When you said this, like, I didn't like it. I didn't think it lined up with what you said. So we had a conversation. All that to say, you can probably tell by now I have a pretty big personality. So for this kid to be able to advocate for himself, like, that's why we're here, right? We want to teach kids to be advocates for themselves, right? To stand up as young people. So he was an advocate. I'm not going to share the rest of his story, but this is my boy right here. I love him very dearly. Thank you, parents, for sharing him. And I'll let him share his story.
Thank you, Miss.
So, I didn't know your parents are going to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Are they ready for this?
I hope so.
Can we get some tissue over to mom and dad over there? Because this story is amazing. And the reason why it's amazing is because where you're at now. As we all know, we can't go back. But you're going to take us back, and then we're going to talk about where you're at now. So let's talk about how you got to Elevate, because it wasn't a nice path, was it?
No. So, first, when I was born, right, we're gonna go all the way back.
Remember that far back? I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. You went back that far, okay.
So I didn't have my bio dad, right? So this is my stepfather right here. He stepped in when I was about 10. And prior to that, my mom was in a very abusive relationship, which trickled down to me, right? So I was a very, very scared kid growing up until that man came in and stepped up and really helped me grow up to be a man and take responsibility and handle business. So now we're moving along. So he comes into my life, and then we're making changes. We're moving around Glendale, Buckeye, and then we end up in South Phoenix when I'm about to go to high school, which I hated so much. Because I had no friends, 0 friends. And then, so I start high school. 2 weeks go by. I'm in drama class, seventh hour or 8th hour, one of the two. Hated drama class. Realized I can't act. And then I went to my counselor. Asked him, I said, hey, is there any other class I can be in right now? They were like, are you good with kids? And I was like, I don't know. They were like, do you have siblings? I'm like, I do. I had a younger brother at the time. And then they're like, well, are you in his life? I'm like, well, yeah. They're like, all right, we're going to put you in peer leadership. Then, so this is week 3, started week 3. I walk in, it's a big circle, no desk, right? I walk in, I feel like it's an intervention because everyone's just sitting there. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
And let's mention that, like you said, you were new to the school, you had no friends there, you were feeling lost. Were you thinking about just giving up and just leaving school, even though you had, someone in your life, a man in your life, but were you thinking like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, I want out?
I was scared. I was really scared. It was more of, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I wanted to go back to where all my 8th grade friends were at, right? I wanted to go back to Glendale and be with all of them. So I was scared. I didn't know anybody. And Chavez doesn't have the best reputation for inviting, And yeah, I was scared. I was a really scared kid.
And that what drew you to this room, which you thought was an intervention. So, and you know what? I think sometimes it is an intervention, and we get it here in this room a little bit. I love it because it takes us somewhere. So when you stepped in there, how were you received?
How was I perceived? Oh my God. Loved by the teachers. Miss G, I know she's in here somewhere. I don't know where she's at. And Mr. Sines, very embracing. They took me in. They wanted me to be there. They wanted me to hang out with them all the time, which I thought was weird.
Well, I mean, being in a place that you're by yourself and you're lost, to actually, knowing a teacher that didn't know you, wanting you to be there. And I think they, were letting you know in ways they wanted you to be there. How was that? How were they letting you know they wanted you there?
One-on-ones was a big thing. So going out, them getting food that we like, and then coming back and wanting me to open up about my life, wanting to kind of dive in and see where I was at, and then help guide me either through whatever I was going through at that time. So that's how they started. Yeah. you know, as time went on, we built a deeper relationship. I was more comfortable sharing things and going places with them.
Yeah, and doing things. And I think we all have to understand is that even though mom and dad are here and we all have kids, those who, you know, all those who have kids and stuff, know that they don't open up to us at home. We don't know what's happening at school. We don't know their problems and stuff, but that's why we're so lucky to have someone that's there for them that they can walk in and open up to and start making things better, because home life sometimes isn't the best, or you don't know how to tell your parents about things. So let's go fast forward now. You've been there in the program. It's senior year.
Yes.
And you're like, what am I going to do in life, right?
Yes. So yeah, senior year rolls around, and I have this idea. I'm like, hey, I think I want to go to the military. I wasn't too certain. I kind of concealed it for a little bit. And at the time, my mentor at the time was Mr. Moss. I told him, he was like, if you know him, he's like a surfer dude. He's like, yo, that's so cool. That would be amazing. I'm like, okay,
right,
cool.
bro, catch some waves out there. Oh, pop-ups now, yeah.
And so he was the only one that knew for like primarily like my whole senior year. And then I go take the ASVAB, did well in the ASVAB. And then it was time to tell my parents. My mom was not feeling it at all. She was like, why would you want to go there? Like, and I had a academic ride to GCU at the time, and I like was turning that down to go to the military. And my dad was for it. He was like, bro, like you're gonna be 18 out of the house? Cool, that's fine.
How many wish they had counselors like that right now? I do.
And so, yeah, and so talking with Mr. Moss really made the decision more comfortable to go into.
And that's one thing that Elevate does. It gives the kids the opportunity to see that maybe their path isn't college, and there's another way, and gives them hope. I think sometimes we want our kids to go on to college, but college isn't for everybody. There's other trades, and I think that's what's great about Elevate, is that they open that up to you. So now you had to tell your parents, they're all there supporting you, I think. So now you told them, you signed the contract, you're stuck.
I am, yeah.
I mean, you know, you're stuck. No, actually you go, but you took advantage of it. What'd you go in and do?
So I enlisted, and I went in as an MP, so military police. And then I got sent off to, they say the worst base, which is in North Dakota, Minot. And just to give you like a pinpoint of what it feels like, it's -55 with wind. So
I hear people laughing. Is someone from there?
So you know.
She's like, I hear the giggling from somebody. So, all right, so you're there, all right, and you're doing your time, and then you eventually start growing in the military.
Yes.
And it's because you had the base of someone there believing in you in high school and pushing you, and now you knew that you could do whatever you want to do.
Agreed.
And now, how did military go?
So 2 years in, I hated it at first, I'm gonna be honest. Because it's rough. It's rough. You're at the bottom ranks and people are yelling at you left and right. And you're not used to that. And mind you, I was a scared kid, so just like, hey. But I turned to senior airman, and then there was this job opening called Tactical Response Force, which is basically like military nuclear SWAT team. And I went through 3 weeks of hell. Of straight training, talk about 4 a.m. all the way to 12 at midnight, and then repeat that cycle over and over again for 3 weeks straight.
Wow.
My body was
Are you
messed
allowed
up.
to tell us this stuff? Okay. I don't want to get us in trouble or get you in trouble. Next thing you know, because someone did something and then there was someone at my door. I don't want to get into that, Tom. Anyways, but
I made the team.
Yeah.
I made the team, and that was really important because a lot of people dropped. But I wanted to make the team, and I wanted to be there, and I was willing to die during training to be there. But then I called Mr. Moss. I was like, guess what? I made the team. He was like, bro, that's so cool. So,
and that was the thing. You were able to call somebody that really helped you and get you there, and that's what Elevate's about, that you knew that you could call. Sometimes, I mean, I don't think I even talked to some of my teachers after graduation. You know, they kind of like, not blew me off, but they're not there. But Mr. Moss is there, and they're all there. So now let's fast forward. You're out of college now.
Out of the military.
I'm military. Sorry, military. You're out of the military. And so you are kind of like just maybe bumming around, kind of hanging out, looking for something.
I was in the process of getting my real estate license. So my family, they do real estate, and I wanted to honor that and also do real estate. And testing is really hard, I'm gonna be honest. It was really hard. So, but I got my license, and then I started doing real estate. Found out I wasn't really good at it. But I was in college. I was still in college, going to ISU, but then I transferred to GCU. Was doing cybersecurity. Still am doing cybersecurity. But Mimi, Miss Mimi, she invited me to come to Camelback and just hang out. So it started happening like that. I would just come by, just say hello. And then she was like, hey, you should do like an internship and just come by like officially, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to get a pass every time you come in. I was like, okay, cool. So I started becoming an intern at the beginning of this year, actually. And then a few months go by, and they were like, hey, we want to offer you a job. And I was like, oh, snap, that's scary. Teaching kids, because it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And I said, I have to sit on it and pray about it. And so that's what I did. And then I got my answer, and I accepted. And then
now?
I became a teacher mentor, and I'm at Camelback. And those are all my guys over there.
That's what's great. Miss Jasmine didn't call you over and over?
Yeah.
Jasmine, that's what we're up here about. We're up here about seeing what Elevate has done and taking someone now to come back and do this. But you're not done, because we were talking about the future. You know this is a way, but what you're saying that you want to be there to show the kids that you can follow your dream and where you want to be and what you want to do. So you're talking to those kids since you're going to college, and they can see that. And we asked you, so you're going to college, you're mentoring, but what do you want to do?
So I want to be in cybersecurity. That's my goal, right? Hopefully I can own a business and be a part of you guys and honestly be on the board of Elevate. So that's like the ultimate goal.
Well, we could make it happen. If anybody has cybersecurity in here, he's ready to go. We hire him. But the reason why we're here tonight, and that's it, to tell these stories, to hear these stories. I know we hear different ones each year, but we wanted to hear this one because this is where we have someone there that kids are actually able to talk to and ask about college, ask about their dreams, ask them where they're going. And that's what we need more of, and that's what we need fundraising. That's what we need the money for, so we can have these success stories. But I think the great thing is that you want to be an Elevate to give back, which is amazing. And I know we have one of where's our real estate? Who is it? Where is he? Ryan. Where's Ryan? Ryan, stand up for me. Where's he at? There he is. If you, he is one of the alumni that gives back, and that was one thing he said one year, that, you know what, I'm going to show how important this place is by working for Elevate. So you're going to be working for this place. You're doing it right now, and that's what it's all about. So I know the stories that you could tell about what you're doing, where you're going, and you are open to it. But I think the big part is the kids. So I'm going to get ready, because we're going to open up, and I think Latasha's going to come up here in a little bit. Letitia. Letitia's going to come up in a minute. But I want you to tell us, and really think in your heart, what you mean to those kids.
I feel like I can help them be the bridge to what they want to do. So a lot of kids are scared to actually come and tell their dreams because they don't know either how to get there, they don't know the blueprints, college, trade, military. And so I feel like I can help bridge that. So I feel like I'm helping become that bridge for them.
I like it. So I'm going to ask you, on behalf of us out here who might have young kids or high school kids, and since you're there and you're firsthand, you're on the ground, you know what's going on, you see everything, you hear everything, to help us 6'7", what is it?
Oh my gosh.
What's 6'7"?
I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to what is it? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to change it to, 6'2". That's me. I'm 6'2" and a half. So, ladies and gentlemen, Malachi Boland, one of Elevate's alum, future cyber security, amazing. So, we thank you very much. Thank you for coming up and telling your story. Now, the beautiful, amazing live auctioneer who is here with us, who I started her career when she was, she's only, 26 now? Just turned
56, but cool.
Ooh. Oh, where are you? Right there. Are you ready for some little live auction, some fun?
All right, we need to raise some funds. Give it up for Malachi, please. And Mark, let's play with that mic a little bit. All right, most of you know me. My name's Letitia Fry. I am the one to help you invest your money. And we have several live auction items, a lot of good friends out in the audience here tonight. The first one has to do with golfing tomorrow. I don't know how many people are actually golfing tomorrow. Show of hands, who's playing golf tomorrow? There we go. This one's for you. Because there's golfing, and then there's this concept of how well an individual who can actually have 18,148 passing yards, 100 passing touchdowns. His college number 9 from BYU is actually retired, 2-time quarterback champion, and he likes to play barefoot. That's right. Jim McMahon's in the house. Where is he? Where is me? There you are. I didn't even see you. It's been a little while, my friend. He's an awesome guy. He's actually helped me with a lot of other philanthropy to actually raise money, and that's what he's going to do knowingly or unknowingly right now. He is going to be your team partner and captain tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So, golfing with the legend. This is for those of you in the house. Opening bid, $1,000. Here we go. 1,000 bid, you over at 1,000, gonna bid now 2,000. 2,000, you over at 3,000, gonna bid now 3. I've got 2, gonna bid now $3,000. Gotta cheer them on, my golfers tomorrow. Jim McMahon is joining you. I've got 2,000, you over at 3. 3,000, gonna bid now 2,000. 3 back there, you over at 4. $4,000. 3,000 back, you over at 4,000. 4,000. Jim McMahon. 4,000 once, 4,000 twice. It has been sold. Oh no! Wait, no. Hold on. It's for the kids. I'd rather have that 4. Are you in at 4? Hold that paddle up. You're the new winner. Sold. 058. 058. Come on, it's for the kids. We'll do it. Give them a round of applause. So there are bottles of wine, and then there are bottles of wine. A Methuselah. It's just fun to say, Methuselah. When we have a 2012 6-liter Methuselah of Del Dotto Cabernet, this is the Oakville. This is from the Connoisseur series. This actually got between 97 and 100 points, 97 on Parker, and is actually a chance for you this holiday season to have the coolest large-scale bottle ever and have a chance to open it because it's 8 bottles in one, and it's worth close to $4,000. But most importantly, when you do open it, it's a chance to pour that wine and talk about Elevate, because that's where you got it. Opening bid for this one, $1,000. Here we go. 1,000 bid, you over at 1,000 bid now 1,000. Wine lovers, there it is. 1,000, you over at $2,000. I've got 1,000, you over at 2. 1,000 right here, gonna bid now 2,000. 2,000 bid, you over at 1, gonna bid now 2. Yes, that is Jasmine with the Methuselah. 1,000, you over at 2. 1,000, gonna bid now $2,000. $2,000 for the wine. 1,000, you over at 2,000 right there. Freddie, watch the line. 2,000. 2,000, gonna bid now $3,000. I've got 2,000, you over at 3. 2,000, gonna bid now 3,000. 2,000, you over at 3,000. 3,000 once. 3,000 twice. It has been sold. $2,000. What's your bidder number tonight? I know you. 226. Give me a huge round of applause. So, tomorrow for my golfers, a man with 35 tour wins, a man who is the only player to be player of the year on all 3 tours, a man who has been your 2006 Ryder Cup actual captain, 3 Ryder Cups, 3 President Cups, and 1996 Open champ, which brings me to the Claret Jug. A man whose still record of 54 holes with a score of 198, first American to win on that course, and willing not only to be your captain tomorrow, but allow you to have that Claret Jug that is not the Stanley Cup to take with you to a holiday this season, whether that is this week for Thanksgiving or over Christmas or over Hanukkah. You'll have a chance to take this. So he gets to be your team captain tomorrow, and you get a chance to actually have that jug. So if you just want the jug, he doesn't have to be your team captain, but if you want him to be your team captain, then you also get the jug. So opening bid, whose house is this? Tom's house. Whose house is this? Tom's house. That's right. Opening bid for this, $3,000. 3,000 bid, you put it at 4,000, 4,000, you put it at 5, 5,000, you put it at $6,000. I've got 5,000, you put it at 6. 6 with Freddie, bid now $7,000, $7,000. Kristen, go to 7, 7,000, 7,000, you put it at 8, 7,000, now $8,000. I've got 7,000, you put it at 8,000, 7,000, bidding 8,000. 8,000 once, 8,000 twice, sold to one of my favorite philanthropists, sold $7,000 to Kristen. Bidder number is 083. Give me a huge round of applause. Up next, Golfers Prairie Club. Unbelievable opportunity. Last year, I think I sold this for close to $15,000. This is for 4 of you. You're going to be spending 2 nights, 3 days, unlimited golf, 2 rooms with breakfast, 3 courses. First, you have the horse course. The horse course is number 10 in Golf Digest. It's one of the most fun courses. It has no tee boxes. It's awesome and a lot of fun. Then we have the man, the myth, the legend, along with Chris Brand, that dedicated and actually created the Dunes course. The Dunes course is in the top 100 courses, number 98 in Golf Digest in America. And then after that, you have the Pines, which is number 73 in the Midwest for public courses. You will have access at the Prairie Club to stay, to play, and an opportunity to experience all 3 courses in one of the most incredible areas of the country. So ladies and gentlemen, bucket list for any golfer. Last year went for $15,000. Opening bid for this one, $5,000, golfers. Here we go. 5,000 bid, you put it at 5,000 bid now. 5,000, 5,000, you put it at 6. 6,000, you put it at 7. $7,000. Good at 7. 7,000, you put it at 8. 8,000 bid, you put it at 7,000 bid now. 8,000. I've got 7,000 bidding 8. 8,000 bidding 9. 9,000, you put it at 9. Now 10. $10,000. He's in at 9. Gonna bid now 10. 10,000. 9,000, you put it at 10,000. Cheer them on! 10,000. 10,000 bidding 11. $11,000. I've got 11,000 now 12. 12,000. 11,000. You put it at $12,000. He's in at 11. Gonna bid now 12. 12,000. 13,000. 13,000. You put it at 12. You put it at 13. 13. Yes. Gonna bid now 14. 14,000. You put it at 3. You put it at 4. $14,000. 14. 15. 15,000, you put it at 15. 15,000. 14, gonna be now 15. 15. 16. 17. 17,000, you put it at 17. 17,000 once. 17. 18. 18,000, you put it at 17, gonna be now 18. 18,000 once. 18,000 twice. 18. 19. 18 gonna be now 19. 19,000. 19. 20,000. 21. 21 once. 21 twice. It has been sold. 20,000. 158. 158. Now, this next opportunity, Alice Cooper's a big deal, but Big Tony is a bigger deal. The man, the myth, the legend. Give it up for Tony Montgomery. He's one of the most passionate. No matter where I bump into him, the first conversation, Letitia, you got to know. Here's what we're going to do for Elevate. Here's what we're going to do for Elevate. This is your development board, your head guy. This is someone who lives and breathes it because he knows it works, and he's so passionate and ever inventive on how he'll create it. Now, Alice Cooper, who I call Uncle Alice, has been a very dear friend and philanthropist that I have supported for over 15 years now. Now, many of you that understand Alice lives here, his wife Cheryl, his family, you might know about his actual charity, Solid Rock. But most importantly, this is a 50 million selling platinum album actual artist who is still out there touring in his 70s and absolutely rocking it. He is known as the godfather of shock rock. He actually has 4 Grammy nominations, and the last one was for his children's album. He is a dedicated philanthropist to helping kids, not all that different than Elevate, catching kids at their most vulnerable time, particularly from that middle school to teen. And he has volunteered his time to have 2 of you join him and Tony and 3 of you. So you're just going to watch, drive the cart? Oh, we're going to have a 5-some, even better. 3 of you are going to join Alice and Tony and have an opportunity at Silverleaf, ranked as one of the top courses in the top 10 in the state of Arizona. You'll have lunch at the dog track at the club, right? We're going to be at the dog track for have lunch. Dog house, I always call it the dog track because it's usually out there. That's the dog house. So this is an opportunity unlike any other. And those of you that understand and don't know Alice, he's such an incredible, kind human being, dedicated to the well-being of our youth. So opening bid for this one, 3 of you are going, $3,000. Golf alone is worth that. 3,000 bid, you bid 3,000 bid now, 3 you bid 4, 4,000 you bid 3, 4,000 with Freddie, get a bid now 5, $5,000. I've got 4,000 with Freddie, 5,000 you bid 4, you bid 5. Freddie's man at 4, $5,000. Cheer them on, 5,000. Alice Cooper, golfing with the legend and Big Tony. I've got 4,000 Freddie's way, 5,000 bid, you bid 5,000, 5,000. Once. 5,000. 5,000 to bid now 6. 5,000, you bid at $6,000. I've got 1,000 to bid now 6,000. Yeah, I said he's the bigger deal. Big T. 5,000, you bid at 6. Big T. It has been. Don't you know Jasmine has no energy at all? It has been sold. $5,000. Bidder number is 082. Round of applause. Now, Gary Player, the man that goes between Johannesburg from his hometown in South Africa to Palm Beach. Do you know that on November 1st, he turned 90 years old? He turned 90 years old. The man is 5'6" and 145 pounds. He has more energy than anyone you would actually ever be around or see. He has 159 wins. And he is going to be in Palm Beach in the first week of January, between the 4th and the 8th. His daughter is helping to organize, and she said it doesn't have to be that time, but we happen to know that he's in Palm Beach. They're going to have a Zoom with him. And she said it's supposed to be 30 minutes, but if he starts talking about longevity and how he's 90, you will be on the phone for an hour. So prepare yourself, because it's his favorite thing to talk about, how incredibly fit and how much energy he has and how he does it. Now, he has autographed a master flag for you that indicate his 3 wins, 3 master. He actually has an incredible list of accomplishments, including author. So the golf majors, his autograph book. He has several books, but this one is on the most unforgettable moments in golf. He's autographed that. He's autographed an actual picture of himself with Arnold Palmer for you, and he's given you one of his Man in Black signature limited edition black hats. You will have time with this legendary golf icon on a Zoom, and he will change your life, not only in the sport of golf, but why you're going to live to be well into your 90s or 100, because you're going to do it the Gary way. So opening bid for this Zoom is going to be $2,000 plus all that swag. So here we go. 2,000 right there. 2,000 to bid now. 3,000. You have 3,000 to bid now. 4. I've got 3. You have $4,000. Freddie got to go to 4. 3,000. You have $4,000. That autograph memo is worth more than that. I've got 3 on the right behind Jack. Got to go to 4. $4,000. 3,000. You have it at 4. 4,000. You have it at 3. You have it at $4,000. 4,000. Freddie's way. Got to go in the back. 3,000. You have it at 4. Last chance at $4,000. $4,000. This is a gift. What an amazing holiday gift this would be for someone to have this FaceTime with this gentleman and all this memorabilia. We're just $4,000. I've got 3 over there by Jazz bidding 4. 4,000. Last chance. 4,000 once. 4,000. It's a steal. Twice. It has been sold. 3,000 bidder. 619. 619. Give him a huge round of applause. Now, before I hand the mic over to Tom, because Tom's really going to explain what this is about, I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty. This is going to take place from March 13th to March 15th. It's going to be at the TPC Sawgrass. It's going to be in Florida. Also going to give you $2,000 in a gift certificate toward your travel, but Tom will personally tell you what is happening, the players.
First of all, you can see it's a pretty golf-heavy auction because we're golfers who are not going to apologize. But the Players Championship to me, was my favorite tournament. I loved it. I loved the course. It's even though it's not one of the majors, it really is. It has the best field in golf every year. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Ponte Vedra for the Players Championship. The tickets are coming from either Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy, one or the other, whoever calls me back first. But that's where the tickets are coming from. So it'll be a great week. It's an amazing, amazing experience. So those of you who like golf, great. If you don't even like golf, it's still worth going to because it's a great spectacle. It's right there along the ocean. It's an amazing place. I think whoever goes will have a great time.
Okay, so this coming March 26th.
I need to add one thing.
Yes.
There's also hospitality involved, on the course hospitality. And so the tickets, the hospitality, the parking, the shuttle to and from the golf course, blah, 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 blah. It's a great time.
And we're handing you $2,000 towards
yes,
hotel
open
there.
bar and the hospitality, Brad.
Yes. Brad wanted to make sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Players Championship opening bid for how many people are getting those tickets? Tom, how many tickets? 4. 4 tickets. Opening bid will be for this entire experience $7,000. Here we go. 7,000 bid. You put it at 7,000 bid now. 7. 7,000. You put it at 7,000 right there. 7,000 bid now. 8. 8,000. You put it at 9. 9,000 bid now. 10. $10,000. I've got 9,000 bid now. 10,000. Got to go to 10. I've got 9 bid now. 10 bid now. 10. Got to go to 11. 11,000. You put it at 12. I've got 11,000 bidding 12. 12,000. I got you at 11. I've got you at 11. Going to bid now 12. $12,000. 11,000 bidding 12. 12,000. 11,000. You put it at $12,000. Last chance. He's in at 11. Got to go to 12. This is a steal. 12,000. 11,000. You put it at 12. $12,000. 11,000. Going to bid now 12,000 once. 12,000 twice. It has been sold. $11,000. Bidder number is? What's your bidder number tonight? What's your bidder number? 095. Now, Tom and Melissa wanted this next item to go last because it is, for Tom and Melissa to tell you that this is one of their favorite places on earth. It is known as the Castle in the Rockies. It's Canada, it's Banff, it's Alberta, but it's Fairmont. And the Fairmont property is one of the most outstanding in the world. We sold this for close to $20,000 last year. This is from May 1st to October 1st when we are very hot, and you have a chance to spend 4 nights, 5 days, and you're going to have an opportunity to golf. You have everything that you could imagine, from hiking to biking to mountain biking to actual fly fishing to fishing to everything. But the property itself is so special. And this is a very valuable trip, but I want Tom to say something of why this is so important to you, because you guys go a lot of places, and I know this is one of your absolute favorites.
Yeah, if you've never been to this place, it's when you think about beautiful places and places that inspire you because of the incredible beauty of nature, you kind of have to start at the top of the list at Banff. An amazing, amazing place in the Canadian Rockies. Not unusual every night to see the Northern Lights. Even in the summertime. gorgeous that way. There's so much to do. The air is so fresh, it's so clean, it's so clear, and the beauty is beyond belief, like I say. So no matter what it is that you love, you can find something to love there, and it's just a great trip. People who want to be, relationships are important, so just to go and be together and enjoy something, it's really one of the greatest places you can possibly go.
So we're talking about 4 people, 2 rooms. You have an opportunity to have an extraordinary experience and a foursome of golf in one of the most beautiful courses. This architecture goes back to 1888, which is why it's called the Castle in the Rockies. It's absolutely stunning. It is your last auction item that you know about. So, opening bid for this one will be $8,000. It's worth over 20. Here we go. 8,000 bid, you bid 8,000, bid now $8,000. 8,000 bid now 8, gonna bid now 9. 9,000, you bid 8,000, bid now 9,000. 8,000 bid now $9,000. This is a $20,000 trip. 9,000. 9,000 bid now 10,000, bid 11,000, bid now 12. 12,000 bid now 13. 13,000, you bid 13. 13 going to bid now 14. 14,000, you bid 13. 14 going to bid now 15. 15,000. 15 going to bid now 16. 16,000. 15 going to bid now 16. 16 going to bid now 17. 17,000, you bid 16 going to bid now 17. 17 going to bid now 18. $18,000. I've got 17 right there. 18 going to bid now 19. 19,000. Last time you just shout out 20 and you won. I've got 18, going to be now 19. 19. You'll go 19. 20. 19, going to be now 20. 20. 21. 19, going to be now 21. Once. 21. Twice. It has been sold. $20,000. Bidder number 023. So the item that you don't know about is apparently if Tony sees anyone coming and he's got a chance to help elevate, he's going to. So he called another Tony. So let's hear a little bit, you might as well stand up, about how you roped in this particular Tony to golf at Silverleaf.
So we were all huddled after the member yesterday when it was pouring down rain. And sitting right there was one of the players in the event, Tony Finau. And so I went up and I said, Tony, you must be a great guy. We've met before, but I don't really know him. But explained to him about Elevate Phoenix, what Elevate Phoenix is all about. And I said, I know this is completely not proper, but can I auction you off to play golf for this cause? And he immediately said, 100%, absolutely. So it's 3 people.
3 people with the 2 Tonys.
With the 2 Tonys.
And lunch.
And lunch.
And lunch at Silverleaf. So, like I said, when this man sees you coming, just get ready. He's going to ask. So, surprise item of the night, opening bid $3,000. 3,000 bid, you bid at 4,000. 3,000 bid now 4. 3,000, you bid at $4,000. I've got 3,000 bidding 4. 4,000, you bid at 3, you bid at 4. 4,000 to bid now 5. 5,000 to bid now 6. 6,000, you bid at 5,000 to bid now $6,000. I've got 5,000 bidding 6. $6,000. I've got her at 5 bidding 6. 6,000. Anyone else at 6,000? 5,000, you bid at 6,000. I've got you at 5. $6,000 once. 6,000. 7,000. 7,000. 8,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. Are you sure? 8,000 to bid now 9,000. 9,000 once. 9,000 twice. It has been absolutely sure. 9,000. $10,000. 9,000, you bid at 10. 9,000 to bid now 10,000. 10,000 once. 10,000 twice. It has been. Are you sure? 10,000. 11,000. It has been sold. $10,000. What's your bidder number? 095. Give him a huge round of applause. So we're going to switch gears, and when I talk to the gals, Jill and Jasmine, and we start planning this and whatnot, I told them, You know, I work all over the country. This is my home. Average about 110 of these a year, and a lot of things of what I'm seeing right now are during the pledge and only the pledge portion, people want to use their DAF. They want to use their donor advised fund, they want to use crypto, and they want to use actual stock as well. So you're going to see a slide come up behind me. We're willing to do that now. Elevate's going to meet you in that, so that wherever you're comfortable giving, we're going to work with you to do that. So if you make that pledge tonight, we're going to be able to have that opportunity to work alongside of you, which is just a great step in the right direction for this nonprofit, because that's what the big boys like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and all the rest of them are doing. So I was very proud of them for being willing to do that. Just so you know, someone is not here with us tonight and is anonymous, but they are starting us out at $200,000. $200,000 here tonight. They are hoping that as we go through everything here tonight, that we have a chance not only to match up that 200, but to continue to blow past it, because we are well over, hopping up over that million mark right now. One of the things that Malachi said up here, one of the things that pretty much every person up here said, it was when the Barbies started this, when the Layman's, when Tom and Melissa started this whole conversation, I remember the year it did. You look at the name, Elevate Phoenix. How do you elevate a community? How do you do it? You find your weakest and most vulnerable point. That's how you do it. How you end up having is not to actually do, in my line of work with over 20 years and over $1 billion now raised for charity, what I see is that I am on the front lines volunteering for everyone. I see side effects. Half the charities that I work for are something that could have been stopped. By the time I see an animal that's been abused or a marriage that's fallen apart, domestic violence, or someone's been homeless or there's addiction, I could have caught that child up river and stopped it. And a large part of what we're doing is putting a Band-Aid on something that could have been prevented. How do you elevate a community? You find the most vulnerable members of the community and you give them the equal shot of everybody else so they can show you who they are. That's what Elevate Phoenix is about. That's what this is. So, in the past 4 years, we always started out with the vans. And the reason we started out with the vans is because now you have 5 actual schools. Trevor Brown is the most recent into it, high school into the younger kids. The vans are how it happens. You can't make it happen without the van. The van this year, the reason it's $65,000, we have 19 vans that are actually cared for in the fleet. We are now, with this new pipeline, 3 vans short. We also have to cycle out vans that are no longer actually upkeep and bring them out. This event, in the past 4 years, has brought in 7 vans. This is one of the only times during this pledge that I tie your gift to something specific. This gift, if you give it, is to us to go get 3 vans. So if anyone wants to raise their paddle at $65,000, what you're going to do is buy a van for the new pipeline. There it is, 033. There's 1 van. Anyone else that would like to, for this new group of kids, 095, a van. 158, another van. You just bought all 3 vans that they need. Give them a round of applause. I love it. From here and the other donations that we talk about, and remember, we had a $200,000 before those generous 3 people, and those 3 vans, what I love about this group is that you will see those vans pull up. What they tell you they're going to do, they are accountable for it, and they come back and they do it. Now, you heard the Dr. G up here, how we actually get it done. But part of this, one of the biggest things, what's a big inequity that we have, but someone that can't get the same shot, they can't read. That's one of the biggest problems. And if you have kids that are dropping out at 52% rate in high school, a lot of that is generationally, not only are they not reading, their parents and their households are not reading. So when we have an online library of 8,000 books, what we found out during COVID, when we had to do most things online, our kids were not the only ones reading what we gave them. Their whole family was overcoming literacy and doing it. So this level here, and now these denominations are into the whole mission that is Elevate Phoenix. This is $25,000. And there it is, 033 at $25,000. Anyone else here today at $25,000 that would like to give? And it's been incredible as we move through this at all together. So in this next part, when we get to the next denomination, the pipeline, okay? So you heard it earlier. Big T was up here. I like to call Tony Big T. So Big T was up there, and he was talking about the 28 kids in 2010, and now we've got 6,000 kids plus, and you've got 5 actual pipelines. But what you're actually doing, once again, this is much more than just an elementary and a pipeline. You're taking a child that actually needs to have the opportunity, exactly like Malachi said. What is my worth? How does someone seeing my worth before I see it? Then they find their worth, they turn around to a younger child, and they show them their worth. But the bottom line of this program, even though somebody might see your worth first, is they know one thing and one thing only. It only takes one to change your life. The problem is most kids don't realize you are your one. It's you. So that's what Elevate does. Someone might believe in you, but then after this, look at this young man. He knows he's the one. He knows it. This level is $10,000. Anyone that wants to raise their paddle at $10,000, here it is. Heather, I love you. 048 at $10,000. St. Peter and Golly Docks are in the house. Anyone else at $10,000 that would like to give at this level? These are examples of what your money can do to every child that has the opportunity, the blessing to be a part of this program. In the next one, we go to 5,000. We're actually going to come down one more. Tutor and mentors. This is exactly what they said. You can't take 52% high school dropout rates and turn them into 98% in the most marginalized, most actual adverse area of kids. We're not talking about kids that are already up against, when I actually go to speak to them in their alumni course and be part of their motivational speech, they're already up against a parent in prison. They're already up against somebody that's got financial issues. They're already up against a million things. Why? Because the Barbies and Tom recognize, find the weakest point and turn it into your strongest. This level is 5,000. Anyone here that wants to raise their paddle at 5? 159 isn't at 5. 156 isn't at 5. 206 isn't at 5. 153 isn't at 5. 163 isn't at 5. 077 isn't at 5. 134 isn't at 5. 138 isn't at 5. 094 isn't at 5. And 155 isn't at 5. 048 isn't at 5. 091 isn't at 5. 179 isn't at 5. 151 isn't at 5. That is 14 people at $5,000. That's incredible. Over $60,000. Now, next one. 2 high school graduates. This is the best part about it. You know, it's hard to say no to Jasmine. And when she said, imagine me being your first dose of what college is going to be like. What she prepares herself for, look, even if you decide that it's not for you, we want to make sure that you didn't just say no because you just thought you weren't enough. We will help you whether you want to go in the military, whether you want to go in a trade. We'll get you set up with a mentor, but you got to at least try. That's why it's called RISE. So every single one of our graduates will go into RISE just to make sure. I know you might be terrified, but if Jasmine might show you that college might be a little more interesting than you think, then we go to college. This level is 2,500. Anyone here that wants to give it 25? Now is the time to raise that paddle. 2,500. 163 at 25. 157 another 25. 165 at 25. 064 another 25. 227 at 25. Kristen, I love you. 083 at 25. Anyone else? That's 6 people at $2,500 a piece. Give them a round of applause, please. That's another $15,000 on top of that. Now, as I tell you in this next part, before I tell you what we're going to do with an incentive and who's here to help doing that, is the summer funding. You have to understand how many parents, when a kid gets out, and a lot of our parents are 2 people working and are trying to actually get through or get by, or a single mom. Summer breaks out, what am I doing with my child? Particularly the younger ones. And that's why we take our kiddos that are actually not have graduated and they're still in the upper schools, and we bring them over here and we drive them out to be engaged with our younger kids through our summer program. Now I've got my high schoolers that are back over in school that are empowering my younger kids, and I've got parents that didn't know what they were going to do with their kids free of charge. So to incentivize this, I'd love to see 25 people do it. The Mastro family. You know, Mike and Jeff have been so incredible for me. And for those of you that don't understand, in 1950 in downtown Phoenix, where Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe and John Wayne and everyone used to go was Durant's. Durant's closed, and the only family that could possibly bring it back to their iconic and better is the Mastro family. Ladies and gentlemen, although the Masters are not with us here tonight, their right-hand person that I love and his incredible wife, Oliver and Kristen Baggio, are in the house. Give them a round of applause. Now, for those of you that know, only the good ones, you know, if you know, you walk through the back kitchen door. We're going to keep that's a thing. And they open on December 17th. You are only the second nonprofit in this Arizona to receive this. It's date night for a year. It means that every month, a actual credit reloads for $300 at Durant's every single month waiting for you. But you know that you're never going to get in Durant's for the next 6 months because everybody's already booked everywhere. This man right here is who I call the bat phone. That's Oliver's the bat phone. So if you now, and I love when Oliver says, and his son, by the way, is going to take my job one day and then some. His Rocco is out there raising funds left and right. Rocco likes to say, well, you know, if you don't want to have a date with your wife, don't raise your hand. It's okay. You know, he can get away with that. But more importantly, it means that you have a standing reservation. So whether you choose this as a standing reservation as a date or whether you want to close those deals, be able to thank your employees, or just know, even in the most busy of time, I call up that bat phone and I'm walking through that back kitchen into Durant's. So I'm going to challenge 25 people. We're going to see if we can get it done. You're going to donate 100% tax deductible gift at $1,000. I love it. The first hand's in there. I'm going to select one of you. I'm going to select one of you with a thank you for getting us there and give you date night for a year. Hold that up. You were my first paddle in the air. 033 is in at $1,000. 011 is in at $1,000. 092 is in at $1,000. 067 is in at $1,000. 163 at $1,000. 057 at $1,000. 152 at $1,000. 164 another $1,000. 160 at $1,000. 032 at $1,000. 228 at $1,000. 150 another $1,000. 178 at $1,000. 051 another $1,000. 091 at $1,000. 058 another $1,000. 084 is the 17th person. Anyone else want to do 152? 152 makes it 18 people. Anyone else? 150, Big T makes it 19. 162 makes it 20 people. 20 people, that's raising $20,000. Anyone else at this level, at the 1,000 level, that's $20,000 raised with the incentive of Durant's. 048, you're going back in. You want to go back in again? You didn't get one. So put the other Dr. G, put Dr. Golly and Dr. St. Peter's number 048. You're going to use yours. Enter them twice. Make sure you give them 2 times to get in there because they're going to let their friends who didn't get an actual paddle also have a chance at date night. Yes, I can tell. So in the next level, you don't need these orange circles anymore. But they are $500 donations. Now, Carlisle's in the house. Give them a round of applause. They've been incredible. On Tuesday, February 10th, our Suns are taking on the Dallas Mavericks. I've got 4 courtside seats. Right there, row B, 103F. That's right behind what will be Dallas's bench. You are the Nexus Club valet, and they are $12,000 tickets. If you hold up your paddle and we collect it right now, you are giving us a $500 donation. We are going to pull one of those paddles and thank you with those tickets. So anyone and I just want to remind you, this is what it takes, $500 for one youth to go through this program for an entire year. That's, an incredible difference. They take $1 and make it go so far. Anyone that wants to donate $500, the chance of actually thanked with these tickets. Hold your paddles up, fans. Freddie, will you go around and grab those for me, please? Myself included. Hold them up high, cheer them on. One of you is getting the tickets. Freddie, will you grab them all? Now let me grab them all, bring them in the back. Go bring them in the back. And then finally, you're going to see a QR code. I love Jasmine. You know that all of our calls go like this the whole time. From the second we get on the Zoom, Letitia! Woo! From the second we get on. I love it. It's a very real thing 24/7. And her husband's here to attest to that. So you're now going to see a QR code that's both, Jasmine was real adamant on this one, to put it on the table, put it up behind me, because $37 a month. Basically what you're signing up, you're a champion for. Even if you are now this holiday season, and a lot of people say, what can I do this holiday? You can take this QR code, you can take these with you, put them on your own Thanksgiving table, and encourage people to become a champion for change, which is just $37 a month. It also goes in the Arizona tax credit, both the single and the actual double. So again, if you're going to go through your taxes this year, please, under education, look for Elevate Phoenix, but know that this $37 a month right there, you can sign up. That is the end of your fundraising portion. I hope you've had a good time. I'm going to bring Brad Perry back up here so that we can honor two legends in golf. My name's Letitia Fry. Have a blessed thing, and thank you.
Let's hear it for Letitia. How incredible is she? Wow. Wow, we're going golfing. We got all kinds of things going on. I love it. At this time, I'm going to need some help. Do I have, actually, you two young men right there? Yes, the mustache guys. Come on over here for me. You two, come on. I just need you to help me bring these chairs up. So, yes, mustache kids, come on over. Come on, they're cool mustache. Wait, one chair and one chair. The mustaches. No, you go, no, not that chair. This chair. This chair. Are these kids belong to you, don't they?
Well, that one over there.
That one does. So, oh, okay. Bring it over here. Bring it, okay. Wow. Thank you. You did great. Thank you, mustache. Great. All right, I'm gonna back it over a little more. Thank you. Thank you, mustache son.
Gotcha.
There. All right. Tom, come on up here. Let's have Mr. Watson come on up.
All right.
So this is a little fun thing we like to do. We like to bring in our celebrities. Last year, Tom Lim and I sat down and chat, but we thought it'd be kind of fun to put these two legends together to tell us stories.
Old guys.
Icons. Have a seat, and I'm just going to turn it over to you two to talk a little bit about knowing each other, meeting each other, and of course, we need some really good golf stories, some real good ones about Tom that we can blacken up.
Want some tips?
Yeah, lots of tips too. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tom and Tom.
All right. Thank you. Have a seat, Tom.
I like your shoes, T.
Yeah, the shoes are good.
Those are good.
Well, Jasmine gave them to me after last year's event. I told her I would wear them this year, so there we go.
How about those?
But just two quick things. Number one, thank you for your generosity. I mean, amazing. To all of you, thank you so much. And two, where's Letitia? Where is she? Sitting out? Where is she? I can't see it because of the light, Letitia, but you're part of the family. You have been for a long time. I want you to know how much we truly appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Okay, well, it's obviously my great honor to be able to sit here with a hero. I mean, a golfing legend. I mean, honestly, easily one of the top 10 golfers in the history of the game, Tom Watson. Seriously. He doesn't like to toot his own horn, and I don't want to embarrass him, so I'm going to.
Don't toot it.
Yeah, well, but just a little bit. For those who don't really know golf as well as I do, just a few facts. All right, joined the tour in 1971. Worldwide, he's got 71 victories, 39 on the PGA Tour, 8 major championships. Player of the Year 6 times. Leading money winner 5 times. Varden Trophy 3 times. Played on the Ryder Cup team 4 times. Captain twice. But I think maybe more importantly than that is with all of those amazing things he's accomplished. World Golf Hall of Fame, inducted in 1988. Maybe to me the things that stand out the most, he won the Bob Jones Award from the USGA, which is for distinguished sportsmanship in the game, and you won that award. Well deserved. The Payne Stewart Award for being just the most ultimate professional person on and off the golf course. You won that award. The Old Tom Morris Award for lasting impact and dedication to golf. You won that award. Those are all awards that not many win, but you've deserved every one of them, every bit of them. So congratulations. So I did a little research. I mean, I think I know a lot about Mr. Watson here. But, you know, he won the Missouri Amateur in 1967. How old were you? 18. Okay. Then you won it again in 1968. Then you won it again in 1970. Then you won it again in 1971. So you won 4 or 5 years. I want to know what happened in 1969.
I ran into a buzzsaw by the name of Scott Bess.
Oh, tour player. Yeah. He beat you. Match play? Match play. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that explains that. But anyway, so you've heard a lot tonight about mentors and coaches. You know, I liken what our staff does, what our teachers. I mean, they're like coaches. They're life coaches. They live alongside people. The thing that they said that really struck me is that many kids, most kids, I bet almost all kids, don't have any confidence in themselves, and they need somebody to help boost them up. And they have more confidence in the kid than the kid has in himself. And I know for a fact that you had some really strong mentors in your life in the game of golf. I'd like to hear about a couple of them. I know a couple of them, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Power and love. Power and love. Those go together. You can't separate them. I love that message from Dr. King. When you're a kid and you're trying to do something and you fail, how do you handle that? How do you handle that? That's a tough thing to handle when you're a kid. Sometimes you can just brush it off, say, hey, I don't care. And a lot of these kids say, I don't care. But as Malachi said, he was afraid. There's a fear factor in there. There's a fear factor that if you tell somebody that you're afraid of doing something, that your failure is I guess the best word you could say is not acceptable to you, but you can't handle it. You need somebody there to take you out of that fear. And that's what a mentor does. I'm so impressed with this organization here. So very impressed with what they do with the kids coming from the top down. The older kids teaching the middle school, teaching the smaller kids. That is, I didn't know anything about Elevate until today. This is something that is really, really important. We all know, and I've heard this from various people who try to help the inner city kids. They said, if you don't get them by the time they're 11 or 12 years old, you've lost them. You got to get these kids somehow to believe in themselves, and this is where their mentorship comes in. I'm doing it in a probably a less effective way, trying to do it through golf with what we call the Watson Links Foundation, where we have mentors that take kids on the golf course and play 9 holes with them. Kids that have some skills, they get on the golf course, and these mentors they walk along with them, play golf with them, and teach them certain things about the game of golf which we relate to life. First Tee does that to a certain degree, to a great degree, with the 9 core values. But this program does it the right way. You go directly to the kids, you mentor them, the mentors that the thing about life in sport, sport we play games. And when we play games, we have fun like this. But the people we remember the most are our coaches, our teachers, and my mentors. You asked me about my mentors, getting back to that. My dad. My dad was my mentor. He taught me from a lot of things about life, about how to handle yourselves. When I went off the rail, it was a little bit painful. But he taught me, he said, there are certain things you have to do, son, and certain things you can't do. And, when we're kids and we don't have any instruction to what you can and can't do, You live in an ocean where you're just floating without an inner tube. That's where the mentors come in. That's where your monies are going to right now, what these wonderful people in Elevate are doing. And I can't applaud you enough. Thank you very, very much for doing this. And thank you, Tom, for starting this. I thought we were going to come up here and tell stories about golf and all that sort of stuff.
We are.
No, the reality is the importance of what you're doing. I just want to applaud you and say thank you.
Thank you, Tom. All-time heroes is Byron Nelson, and I know he's a dear,
A wonderful man.
Was a dear friend
Wonderful
of yours. So tell me about that relationship and how that started. I know he had a big impact on you.
Bill, Byron, I don't know if many people know about Byron. Byron was part of the great triumvirate, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson. Byron, at age 40, when in 1945, decided he had a pretty good year. He won 11 straight in 18 tournaments. He finished third in 27 of the 30 tournaments he played in. He said, you know what? I've made enough money here. I'm going to buy myself a ranch, and I'm going to retire on this ranch. And he did. Didn't actually retire. He played, I think, about 15 tournaments the next year, but he really did drop out of the competitive scene. But he stayed in it for a while. He got back into golf with the ABC television. He helped Marty Fleckman. He helped Kim Venturi. And he came to me after a particular heartbreaking defeat at U.S. Open at Winged Foot in 1974. I had the lead going into the last round. I shot 79 the last round. Hale Irwin won. And I was up in the locker room having a beer with John Mahaffey, and through these swinging doors, I see this man. He's tall. He's 6'3", like this. He just looks over the door, and just John and I and another couple guys are in there. Said, Tom, could I speak with you for just 5 minutes? And I had known Byron before, but not to the extent that I was going to know him in those 5 minutes. He sat me down and he said, Tom, I really, really like the way you played yesterday, and today you didn't quite have it today. But I really like the way you conduct yourself on the golf course. And if any time you'd like to work on your golf game with me, I'd be happy to do that. And I thanked him. And a couple of years later, I took him up on it. And that started just an absolute wonderful relationship with Byron. Byron was a very humble man. He loved his ranch life, his chickens, his woodworking, which he wasn't exactly adept at. He cut off his thumb. But he loved to woodwork. And then a tragedy happened to him. His wife, Louise, had a severe stroke. I mean, it's totally debilitating stroke, but survived it. But just, was just in a wheelchair. And he stayed by her side for well over a year and a half, never left her side. And in that time, I went down, I don't know how many, 15 or 20 times just to spend some time with him at his house there. And, to be with him and Louise. And, we developed a very, very close relationship there. The mentorship part of it was really just, people say, did he help you with your golf game? I said, well, at times it seemed like he helped me, but more importantly, he was a guy with the glass half full. Many, just like the mentors you're talking about right here, taking a kid that just needs maybe a little encouragement, even though they don't believe in themselves. You got to make them believe in themselves. And that was Byron was doing with me, making me believe in myself, even though I knew for a fact I was playing crappy. But he was always positive about that, and always came came away from being with him with a love for him for doing that. I knew what he was doing. But just to relive his life stories when he was starting in the tour, when he grew up, and he started in the tour. He played the Caddy Championship against Ben Hogan at Glen Garden Country Club, and Ben Hogan beat him after 18 holes, but the members there were following us. Now, let's play another 9 holes. Yeah, they're all betting on him, you know. So they played another 9 holes, and Byron beat Ben total for the 27 holes like that. And that was kind of the beginning of their relationship. But the stories about him playing the tour when they drove in caravans, when from tournament site to tournament site, and they always bet. They always are betting money. Practice rounds they're betting money. But many times they're playing for more money than they're actually playing in the purse. They really were. Many of them were gamblers. And the one bet that they had, I had to laugh. He said, "We bet when we're going from site to site, we go from California to Phoenix, say, they would always have flat tires. I mean, these tires weren't worth a darn back in those days. And there was always a bet on who could change the tire the fastest." I just chuckled at that. And so, but just one more story about Byron, which was fun. Louise passed away. Byron called me about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months later and said, "Tom, I have to ask you a question. I received a letter from a lady up in Indiana who I've met before at the Fort Wayne Mad Anthony's tournament, and she was a driver, and she wrote me a letter and knew that I was coming back up there, and said, would you mind going out to breakfast with me?" And he said, "What do you think I ought to do, Tom?" And I said, "Well, Byron, you're 80-some years old. I don't really care what anybody else thinks. Go for it." Well, that was, I think that was like in, I don't know, I think that was in May. And wasn't too long, I was playing the PGA in August. And I'm on I'm on the first tee of a practice round, waiting to tee off at Inverness. And I see Byron walking up here with his good friend, the umbrella man. But anyway, he was walking up there, and I saw this grin on Byron's face, and he's walking right at me. And I get up to go say hello, and I said, "Byron, no. Are you getting married?" And he just goes, like that. And he married a delightful woman, Peggy, and they lived there. Peggy's still alive. Byron passed away, but just that relationship, the relationship you have with people like that, they live with you. You get back to your coaches and your teachers, your dad, your mom, but the mentors in your life. Those are the things that many of us are lucky to have, and some of us are not lucky to have. We're not that fortunate to have it. But I was lucky to have Byron in my life.
Well, he's a great man, no doubt about it. One of my favorites of all time. So let's touch on this next topic just a little bit. So you mentioned that you traveled across the country in cars, flat tires, betting for.
You remember that?
I do remember that. Take hours in the rain and things like that. We got a hotel room. So just a couple years ago, just to kind of show how things a bit. Ogie, North Dakota. He finished third in the Players Championship. A $2.3 million. So I called him that night and I said, hey, Hoagie, weekend, he barely made the cut, and then he shot, something like 0 on the weekend, and thank you, finished third. Is this working? No. Is that working? Okay. So he finished third, $2.3 million in the pocket. So I called him up and I said, I want to give you a little perspective on this. Byron Nelson, in his whole career, at one point he won 11 tournaments in a row, and he would tell you actually it was 12, but the 12th one was about $10 short of the minimum purse, so he only gave him credit for 11. Not many people know that, but through his entire career, he made $189,000. Arnold Palmer, who won 62 tournaments, made $2.1 million. And I said, Hoagie, you just finished third in one tournament, and you made 2.3, more than Arnold made his entire career, more than 17 times more than Byron Nelson ever made, and you just finished third in one tournament. So has the tour changed, or has the tour changed?
Boy, has it changed. Some of the things I've told you, I thought you'd be interested to know kind of the beginnings of tour life for Tom Watson. And I'm sure you shared lots of it, but when it came out in the tour, we had to pay for range balls. Yeah, but $2 a bucket, and they were stripers. They weren't the Titleist. Which ball would you like, Mr. Watson, going to the Masters or something like that? Would you like a Callaway tour? Would you like like this? No, we played. That's what we hit.
Who shagged the ball?
Again, if we didn't have the range balls there, we took our practice bag with us, full of balls, and we'd have the caddies. There'd be 30 caddies out there dodging bullets. Some of them with baseball gloves. I love them with their baseball gloves and trying to catch it like that. I had one caddy in Memphis. I was hitting the ball everywhere. It was 105 degrees. And this caddy was out there, and I noticed he wasn't moving to try to find my ball. And he came back with about half the bag full. I said, what happened? He said, I couldn't see him. But, we drove. We didn't have courtesy cars where, you would, be picked up or, you really had to drive and get yourself to the golf course. There was no food. If you're lucky, the club would have food for you, but you had to buy chits. To get in the line with the members. There was no private locker, no private eating facility. We'd eat with the members there. Didn't matter. I was out on the tour, man, and there was a lot of other things that I guess if you look the way parents have raised their kids, we spoil our kids a little bit more now than we used to. When I grew up, and we almost always had dinner at home and food at home, meals at home. We never went out, hardly ever went out for something. That was really a special event. Now everybody goes out rather than eat in. Not everybody, but and I guess the last one about the food was funny. It was a Colonial National Invitational. It was an invitational, and if you had to be invited to play, and I was just a kind of a second-year rookie, or kind of second year on the tour. In the third year, I got an invitation to play in the Colonial. Wow, Ben Hogan's Alley. I think he won it 5 or 6 times, something like that. But the best thing about Colonial is that they served your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it was really good food. And, my friend Andy, Andy North, Andy, they had a dessert tree like this. And it was about this tall, and it had pies, it had cookies, it had all kinds of things in it like that. And the 16th green came right up to the clubhouse like this, and then you had to go around the clubhouse like this and come back for the 17th tee. Well, Andy liked his sweets. When he finished the 16th hole, He went right in the side door over here, went over, grabbed a brownie, a couple brownies like this, and he walked out the other door to the 17th tee right over here. We did stuff like that. But the tour was, it was, we had to qualify on Mondays. Did you have to qualify on Mondays?
No, my first year, it was the first year of the all-exempt tour.
Okay. Qualify on Mondays. You qualified to play the tour the following year if you made the top 60 money winners of the previous year. If you're 61st, SOL. You had to qualify on Mondays. And the most important thing for those years on the tour was not the Sunday round. It was the Friday round. You know why? Back in those days, if you made the cut in the tournament, you're exempt into the next week and you didn't have to Monday qualify. Yeah. So Friday was the big day for us, us rabbits. And that was part of the, steeling yourself in competition, because you had to, really consider that, because you did not want to qualify on Mondays. If you missed the cut, bingo, you're back qualifying on Mondays for the tournament. Sometimes they had a field 15 or 20. Sometimes they had a field of maybe 12. And you had to shoot a good score to qualify, get in the tournament. Or you had to find something else to do that week. And so qualifying, that Friday round was really, really important.
So here's the question. So how did you get from the player who was just worried about the Friday so you can play the next week to a major champion? There is a couple steps in there. I'd love to hear about them.
Well, the one thing that I told myself I was going to do when before I joined the tour, I tell you the story behind that. I like to hunt. My dad, my mentor, he loved to hunt, duck hunt, quail hunt, and I remember my senior year in college. I was back for Thanksgiving. The previous year, I was riding around in a cop car, going around student police relations. I remember that at Stanford. Yeah, that was quite something. But that Thanksgiving, I went back and we went quail hunting, and coming back from a particularly nice day in the dark, I said, "Dad, I'm going to turn pro." And you never know what your dad's going to say to that, right? We hadn't discussed it at all before that. And he said, "Son, that's the right decision. Because if you did make that decision, you'd always wonder if you'd ever could make it." And that's all I needed from my dad. That was it. That's a mentor. That's exactly what a mentor does. And so I went and qualified for the tour. Went through Monday, I had to qualify on Mondays, went after missed the cuts and like that. I finally got exempt my second year. Third year, darned if I didn't win a tournament. I won a tournament up in Chicago at the Western Open at Butler National. And again, exempted. And I had a lot of opportunities to win. And I blew a lot of them. I choked it. And I was known as a choker. And I didn't like that. But when I got on the tour, when I got on the tour, I promised myself I was going to practice harder than anybody on the tour. I was going to be out there before them. I was going to be out there after them. And and the other thing I was doing, I was watching the great players, how they played. I wanted to find out if I could somehow I could glean. I talked to them, and I wanted to glean ways to better my game, better the way I thought about a golf course. Jack was really instrumental in that in a lot of ways, and I had a chance to play with him. Jack was the best tactician of any golfer on the tour. He's kind of like Bernhard Langer on the senior tour. He could dissect a golf course and really make it and make that golf course where he could take the risk out of the golf course better than anybody. And so I learned from that. But to go from that to winning major championships, Tom, as your question asked, rambling on here, it took one swing. I was over in Japan, 1976, at the end of the year, November, playing in the Japanese-American team matches. Dave Stockton was the captain. And I played in the Pro-Am, and I was shooting I shot about 83 or 84, something like that in the Pro-Am. I never shot over 80. I was playing so horribly. And on the 18th hole of the Pro-Am, I duck hooked it way up to the top of this mountain, out of bounds. And the next one was a duck hook on the side slope. Side slope was like that. And I'm totally frustrated. So I said, I'm going to try something way out of the box. I'm going to make a golf swing that I wasn't, completely different than what I was trying to do. And I made this golf swing, like this, like that. Whoa, what happened there? And I hit a really perfect shot. And it was not what I was trying to do for the first part of the round. So I go to the practice tee, and I do this, and I do that, and all of a sudden the ball's going straight. It's going straight. And get up the next morning, come out there, the 2-hour bus rides in Japan, remember those? And I won the tournament by 6 shots.
And so you knew at that point that there's something different going on.
That swing, that one move in the golf swing, the light switch went on, boom, like this.
Yeah.
And I took that, practiced over the winter, came out on the tour the next year in '77. I won the Bing Crosby, I won San Diego, almost won the Players Championship. Go to the Masters, I win the Masters, win the Western Open, and I go to the British Open, the Open Championship at Turnberry, and had that little contest with the blonde boy from Ohio, and won that one, and it was off to the races.
I think so. How many? 7 wins that year? 2 majors?
It was something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Well, you kind of mentioned that. You brought it up, so I'm going to ask you about it because as a golfer, I remember as a kid, I mentioned as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid watching you play. And I remember being so heartbroken at the losses. Okay, watching you play great. And I remember clearly the Open at Winged Foot when Byron said, "Here, come here, let me talk to you," and died with that final round, because we were all pulling for you so hard. But that, the whole point is like at some point that light goes on and something happens and you believe it. All right, and you believe it so much that you go and you're playing one of the greatest players in the history of the game, if not the greatest player in the history of the game. In 1977 at Turnberry, he shoots 65, 66 on the weekend and loses to you. I'd love to hear about that. So what was it like to play against Jack? Head to head that way. Were you nervous? Were you
Sure, I was
inspired?
nervous. I was nervous, but there was kind of one thing going for me. I'm playing against the greatest, and it almost reduced the pressure on me in the sense that if I should lose to him, it's not the worst thing. I'm expected to lose, but as it wore on here like this, and I was very confident in the way I was playing, that it was, and I came back for 3 shots down in the final round to from after 4, and number 8 I was tied with him. Then I go 2 shots down after 12, and then I made a no-brainer for a putt off the 15th hole. A lucky putt. Yeah, I broke a lot of people's heart with that putter. I really did. Almost broke your heart, right here, making
Yeah, well.
right. Almost broke his heart.
$1,000.
That ball almost, well, darn near hit the hole, didn't it? We had a little putting contest before the thing
little
a few
challenge.
of you were a part of, but I lost $1,000 to him, actually, to elevate. But in the final round, it came down to the last few holes. After bouncing back twice, I said, yeah, I could get him here. In the 17th hole, I hit a drive in the neck, and he hit the ball just by me about 5 yards. And it's a par 5, kind of blind shot up the hill up here. And I hit a 3-iron. I just hit it perfect right at the hole like this, and they cheered up there. You couldn't see where the ball was. Then Jack gets up and hits a 4-iron, and he hits it right to right over here. And he just went, just laid the sod over it and came up short and over here like this to the right of the green. I said, I'm tied with him. And I said, game on here. And then he gets up, and Jack wasn't the best chipper around the greens. And he said, I didn't need to chip. I always hit all the greens. Well, he was right, He hit a lot of greens. And I putted, he made this chip through these little hillocks like this, a little pitch and run like with an 8-iron, just like this, and ran up from here to your face from the hole like that. I said, well, I got a 2-putt and we'll be tied. And I 2-putted for birdie, knocked it down there, and Jack missed it. Now game really on. Get on the last hole, and I hit a 1-iron off the tee down the left side, and Jack takes a driver out. Now it's not a driver hole for Jack, but he took it out anyway, and he bombs it right to right over here, and is going right into the gorse to the right. And you see the gallery over there, and I yell "Far!" like this, and you see the gallery kind of separate, and I didn't know where the ball ended up. So I walked up to my ball over there, and before I hit my shot, I wanted to see what type of shot he had. So I walked all the way across the fairway over here, took a look at the ball. The ball's in rough about this deep, like this, and it was this far from the edge of the gorse. I mean, if he had gone, 2 inches farther, he'd be unplayable. But he still is this far from the gorse in rough like this. And I walked back and I said, well, I've got somewhat of an advantage, except that Jack Nicklaus was the greatest rough player in the history of the game. With his upright swing, he could take it out of any bad lie in the rough. And so I go back and I hit the shot, and I hit it right at the hole. I mean, just straight at it. But I couldn't tell how close it was, but I knew it was pretty close. And so I go up there, walk up there, and Jack hits this shot like this. I mean, a swath of grass that long. It was at the end of the swing, it was attached to his golf club like this. And that much grass he had to go through. And here comes that damn ball, like this, like that, and hits short of the green and kind of rolls up and gets on the green about 30 feet from the hole. And I'm 1 up. I have a real close shot. I don't know how close it is because I couldn't see. It was really flat. You couldn't see how close it was. And so I'm walking through the crowd. My caddy, Alfie Files, this guy from Southport with this Cockney accent. He looks up at me and said, well, you've got him now, mister. I looked down at him and said, Alf, he's going to sink this putt. And he goes, kind of cross-eyed. What? Like this. Well, one thing that Alf didn't know, that I did know, that Jack Nicklaus sunk more birdie putts on the last hole of a major championship than everybody else combined. And sure, I get up there, and I was, didn't know. I didn't know how close my ball was. I'm walking up there, and the closer I got, You know, anybody who plays golf, they know this. They know this good feeling that the closer you get, the ball gets closer and closer, right? Well, it was this far from the hole. It was that far from the hole. And I said, yeah, pretty good, but it's always Jack. So Jack gets up there and he gets down, how he putts, gets down here like this. And he goes, and I made 10 feet from the hole. I knew it was dead center. And it would have gone into a thimble like this, dead center into the hole. And the crowd just went ballistic. It was jet engine loud. Like this. And, normally the crowd's going to cheer for a while, but they kept on cheering. And it didn't stop. It still didn't stop. And now I'm sitting here and I said, yeah, well, I don't care if they're cheering or not. I'm going to put my putt in when they're cheering for him. So I went down there and I put my ball down and I lifted up the mark. And as I lift up, I see Jack out of the corner of my eye, and he's got his hands up like touchdown. And the great thing about the game of golf is in 3 seconds, that jet engine roar went dead silent. It was incredible. The respect for the game of golf just went dead silent. And I got up there and I putted that ball in. I hit it in the right center. I didn't hit it dead center. I hit it in the right center.
I remember that putt being missable watching it on TV. It wasn't
No.
a gimme.
It's this far.
All right. Well, okay. I was nervous for you.
And when it went in, I raised my arms up and acknowledged the crowd. Jack came over and shook my hand, and we walked off side by side, and then he put his arm around me as I walked off like this. He looks up to me and he said, Tom, I gave you my best shot, but it wasn't good enough, like that. And that's the time, that was a seminal moment in my career right there. The greatest player in the game said, I gave you my best shot, but it wasn't good enough. And it started a really good run for me, Tom. It really did. But again, it's almost like a mentor relationship there. Jack being the top, me being the pupil. And coming off the green as equals in a sense, but giving me the confidence that, yeah, you beat me. Didn't like it, but you beat me.
Well, 65 on the weekend anywhere, but in a major, I mean, that's pretty sensational. Just a couple more questions. So Turnberry has always been a special place for you. I don't know if you want to talk about 2009 at Turnberry.
Well, I think we got the high sign. We got to get out of here. But
Okay. All right, then let me ask
I
one.
have, it'd be a long story.
Okay. Let me go here. Let me go to the story then.
Well, I'm going to tell it anyway.
Okay. All right.
I'll really shorten it. Okay. I went in to the last round, leading the tournament. Came to the last hole, the one-shot lead. I make bogey. I get into a playoff with Stuart Sink, and he beats me by 4 shots. I lose the tournament. I go into the press room. I say, nobody walked in there very fast. I said, what is this, a funeral? Come on, let's get on with it. Did all the questions, walked up to the room, changed it for dinner, and Hillary, my wife, got a phone call. And she goes, hello? Yeah. Oh, hi, Babs. Okay, just a second. And on the phone was Jack. And he said, Tom, I did something today I've never done before. I said, what's that, Jack? I watched your first shot to your very last shot in the playoff. You won the tournament. I didn't win the tournament, Jack. Come on. Like this. Then he proceeds to describe the last hole. You hit a perfect shot off the tee. Your second shot, if it stops 6 inches shorter, you win. The third shot, you hit the shot that wouldn't lose you the tournament, which is kind of a key thing. And then I had about an 8-foot putt. If I make the 8 putt, I win. And I hit the worst putt you could ever imagine in that condition. And Jack said about the putt, and the putt, you hit it like the rest of us would have hit it, you dog. And that was Jack. Called me up, knowing the pit in my stomach. I had it. I had that. And strangely enough, I had done it to him at Pebble Beach when I chipped it into Pebble Beach in '82. And yeah, he knew that. He knew what I was feeling. And here he is, a great player that he was, calling me up to console me. I love him for it.
Yeah. Well, you were nearly 60, right? You're born in September. That was in July. You would have been 60 in the next birthday. You would have been the oldest player by far to ever win a major championship. And I think you felt the love. The entire world was behind you. And I know that, me specifically personally, I played that year. I was there. And I played earlier in the day. I teed off at maybe 10 in the morning or 11 or whatever it might have been. And I think your tee time was about 3. Finished the round, went in to get something to eat, and I told my son Thomas, I said, Thomas, come with me. We're going to go on the golf course, and we're going to follow Tom Watson today. We're going to watch every single shot he hits inside the ropes, and we're going to watch him make history today. And I think the whole world was pulling for you. And I always felt sorry for Stuart Sink because nobody wanted him to win. Everybody wanted you to win, but what I remember most vividly is that we were right behind you on the 17th hole when you hit that, I think, rescue or some kind of a 3 hybrid right at the pin just over the back and made birdie. And you had to make a par on 18 to win. And you hit a perfect tee shot. And we were right behind you when you hit that 6 iron. 6 iron? 8 iron. We were right behind you when you hit that 8 iron. We were just right on line. And this thing never left the flag. And I remember telling you later, I said, Tom, if you would have been like the rest of the world, that just choked a little bit, you would have won. But you hit the most perfect shot. And you said, no, I didn't. I carried it onto the green. I was trying to land it 3 yards short, and it barely just trickled over, but you played so great. You played so great, and I think the heart of an absolute lion, and the whole world, including us, were pulling for you, and you gave us something to think about and talk about forever. So we appreciate that.
Thank you. If those big yellow scoreboards over there, right? Mm-hmm. I say this in jest, but if anybody's ever been to the Open Championship, they big yellow scoreboards, and they do it like Augusta. It's not electronic. And those kids, they looked up at the top of that scoreboard and they said, Watson up there, but they look up there and say, that's not a B in front of that.
No, it's not a B in front of that. No. Okay, last question, and you can chew off as much as you want or as little, but I asked you today, how would you want to finish? And you said something about the principal learning moments in golf for you. So I'm sure there's lessons you've learned along the way, some bigger, some smaller. Just share with us a couple.
Well, I'll tell you, one lesson was, it was a great lesson. I'm walking out of the locker room at up there at the Firestone Country Club. I finished on Sunday's round. I walked out there and I had my hang-up bag over my shoulder like this, and I was walking out, and I was trying to get out fast to get to the airplane. And this kid stops me and said, Mr. Watson, could I have your autograph? I said, no, kid, I'm too busy. And his dad was with him. Took 2 steps. His dad said, you a-hole. I stopped, kind of in anger, turned around. And I said to myself, he was right. And I said, I'm sorry, would you like my autograph? No. Well, he was right to say no. If I was that kid and my kid's father, I would have said no too to that jerk. And that was one lesson. And another lesson I'll leave you with, talk about Jack. We got to be really good friends on the tour, and especially at the Open Championship. We played practice rounds. We had some funny stories about those, but we go out to dinner. And where do you want to go out to dinner? And I said, well, there was this restaurant, and I can't remember the name of it. I said, Jack, can you make the reservations, will you? I said, okay. And so we'll meet at 6 o'clock. We walk down, get down the stairs. And I said to Jack, you ready to go? He said, well, I couldn't get in. I said, Jack, you used your name, didn't you? He said, I'd never used my name, going to the restaurant except with the jalapenos in Kansas City. I call up, but I never used my name. I just called up. If you didn't have room, they didn't have room. Jack said, I said, Jack, didn't you use your name? He said, oh, no, I never do that. Bingo. And that's, that's a life lesson too. And that's, there are a couple of lessons there that I think that are good teaching moments for kids. And you can be a star, like this, but you really, like my dad said, you put your pants on one leg at a time, like everybody else does. And he taught me the lessons early, that mentorship. And that's what we're all here for. All here for these kids to learn that. Learn what to do. By example, sometimes by failure, but more importantly, give them a little bit of success. And that grows. That really grows. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Mr. Tom Watson, thank you very much.
Tom and Tom, give a big round of applause. All right. So as we come to our end of our program for tonight, remember, if you have bid on an auction item and you won, you can pick it up on your way out. Golfers, remember, it is a 4:30. Just kidding. I want to see. I want to see where you were like freaking out. What 4:30? I'll be here at 4:30 working out if you want to come work out with me. And then we'll cold plunge and then we'll golf. But 7:30 is breakfast. And we'd love to have you all here checked in, ready to go by 8:30 because we tee off at 9. So 7:30 for that. Listen, everybody, thank you for being here tonight. This is such a big thing. Tom, you are amazing. We know that. And,
Don't leave yet. Hold on. We got something to announce.
We have some announcements really quick, but as we get ready to leave out, thank you all for being here tonight and ready for this. Okay, here we go.
All right, we have the date night for a year. Thank you goes to Mr. William Froelich.
Will Froelich! Date night for a year. Yes.
Yes. And we have the Courtside Suns tickets. Thank you goes to Grant Clapstein.
Woo, Grant! All right. Hold on one second. Date
And
night. Will.
those. Okay.
All right, drum roll.
Drum roll.
Can we make a quick drum roll? This is how much we raised tonight. Thank you to all of you. Right here is.
Wow.
Thank you. We are on cloud 9, but the best is yet to come. Thank you, and you have your sweet treat on the way down. Thanks to Scooptacular. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Dee. Love you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Jasmine. Thank you, everyone.